been joining so far, and all of that we'll be discussing on the show. Let me once again thank you for making our time to be with us on this show. It's a 2-hour stretch. It's going to be interactive. We expect that you would be joining us on all our platforms. Perhaps you are hearing us on radio at this time as well. You can also tweet at me on my Twitter handle, Benson Arable. I have a live tweet there. You can hook up with, and you'll be part of this discussion. All the government handles too, social media handles, and you'll be part of the interactions and the program. Quickly, we'll introduce our guests. We have the Honorable Commissioner for Health, Dr. Patrick Okundia, on set. Thank you, Honorable Commissioner.
Yes, nice to be here.
Thank you very much. We have the Special Advisor, Strategy and Program Management, Dr. Uyi Udua Malaka, also on set. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thanks so much to be here.
And Incidents Manager, COVID-19, Dr. Andrew Obi. Thank you so
very much.
All right.
Pleasure to be here.
And from the World Health Organization, Mrs. Ireto Grace.
Good afternoon. Nice to be here.
You're welcome. All right, it's a full house of guests, very powerful, prominent guests. You get to see them as we go on in the program. Is a real town hall as it is. Once again, thank you for being a part of the show. We'll just start with Honorable Commissioner. There are still persons who believe that the COVID-19 is a scam. Absolutely doesn't exist. So I want you to address that. Moving on the show.
Nice to be here again. Benson, thanks a lot. I want to appreciate CBS for this opportunity to interact with the people. For us in Edo State, we are more concerned about our people in Edo State. The government of Edo State is so much interested in the welfare of it and the rights of our people. It's really sad to hear such a story that there are still persons who, after 2 months, still think coronavirus is not real. I don't know what to say about that. I don't think there's anybody who hasn't heard about the word coronavirus disease or COVID-19. I think it might just be a function of attitude. Some persons may just, they have heard but just don't want to believe. And I think why not lashing at them? There may be some reasons for that. And this can be explained scientifically. We know when this virus started in the late December, but it's more evident in January this year. And it started from Wuhan, and spread to the Europe, and then in the Americas. And then we saw reports and we saw pictorial evidences. On the 27th of February, we recorded the very first case in Nigeria. Also, it happened to be a foreigner, an Italian. Well, that story was one of the day. Then after that, maybe people were expecting to see, just as it was in the Europe and in the United States, people falling down on the streets and dying, but that really hasn't been the case. We have recorded some deaths, and from your statistics, about 200 deaths in Nigeria so far, and those are 6. But most of these deaths we can actually attribute to comorbidities. They tested positive for the virus, but in addition they had other diseases that actually facilitated their deaths. So that on its own has probably created the impression that, oh, well, maybe the virus is really not that deadly. But for us in Edo State, the message has been that message of hope. We're also thankful to God that maybe there are factors, because it's a new virus. Nothing in details is known about it. But we have been able to see from evidences that there are certain other factors that may be also helping to protect people, individuals, which can border on the immune system, which can also border on the environmental factors. But that, be as it may, should not remove the fact that we already have a coronavirus disease in Nigeria and of course in Edo State. We have seen people, especially from the highest level, when the chief of staff of the Federation got infected, unfortunately because of his comorbidities, diabetes and lung disease, he succumbed to the virus. That alone is enough to push this sense of seriousness on our people. We don't pray people start to fall down and die. But it is important for us to say this is real. The position of the state government has always been, we hope for the best as we prepare for the worst case scenario.
Okay, Honorable Commissioner, I will come back to that. Let me ask Dr. Andrew, we catered this to the ordinary man in the street who we are talking to again at this time. Lots of them do not believe that there is COVID-19 because there are now miscommunications that this is just like malaria, this is just like any other virus out there. So why was there so much hue and cry at the beginning? So I wanted you to paint a picture of how dangerous it is.
Well, COVID-19 is not a dangerous disease.
It's not.
It's not a dangerous disease, and although at the earlier stage, the informations and the messages that we had about it was that painted by the foreign countries, China, Asia, China, and Europe. And you will notice that they seem to have more fatalities or more deaths. And so, coming to us in February, we had that picture that COVID-19 is a death sentence. But now, speaking to us, we have over 7,000 cases now, and we are having a different scenario being painted here. First thing is that it's not as deadly as it was initially painted. Now, so does that mean that people can still live a normal life? I'll tell you something that could be very shocking. You'll be surprised the number of persons who are moving around that might have even contracted COVID-19 and recovered without even knowing. Okay? That also speaks to the fact that in terms of survival, in terms of the changes that we see in this virus, because new things emerge every day. There's something about the black race, there's something about our environment that speaks to the fact that we are not recording as much fatalities as we have over there in Europe. Maybe it has to do with the kind of environmental factors like environmental temperature.
Yes, I was going to ask you that, if that is scientifically verified already. But it's ongoing, the research. So, okay. Dr. Oli, before I come to you, let me ask Mrs. Rachel Grace from the World Health Organization. What happened? We are seeing Africa that has been lucky, with the COVID-19 experience. So how should we move on now, communicate to that, to prepare that this is going to take a stretch of time? We have to be responsible. So what is the message? What is the communication? And what is the preparation?
Thank you very much. The message is very simple. Like you said, we've been so lucky in Africa. But I want to say here that we should not take anything for granted. This is because it's a novel virus. We don't know everything about this virus. We don't know how it's going to turn around later. But we are giving ourselves hope that there is certainly hope. And coupled with the way it's been handled over here, we certainly have hope. But we must always prepare our mind that, like Dr. Obi said, looking at HIV, looking at malaria, they started like this. But we came to a point where we all agreed, based on scientific reasons, scientific experience, based on the researches, we could peg it somewhere to say, okay, this is how it operates, just like we have in Lassa. So now nothing should be taken for granted. Everyone should be on guard. We should know that even though COVID-19 does not kill like other diseases, the rate of spread is higher than any other. And that is where the fear comes in. You have a family, somebody come down with it. Before you know it, everybody is down with the virus, and so there is panic. There is no need to panic, but we must understand the mode of transmission, the need to accept the result when it comes, go for treatment immediately to avoid spread, and the need to subject yourself for monitoring as a contact when it happens. I want us to liken this thing to Lassa fever. You know, we have handled Lassa fever in Nigeria, especially in Edo State that is an endemic state. It's not been so in COVID. You find people running away. You give them the results, say, no. I was just passing by, decided to take the test. Nothing happened to me. COVID is like that. You may have the virus and may not manifest it, but have the power to spread it. And it is the rate of this spread we are trying to peg now. And the message is that even though it's not serious in Africa, People are not dying. COVID-19 is real. It spread faster than any other disease we've had, and we must put an end to it. Putting an end to it is accepting your result, subjecting yourself for tests, going for management, because the government has done a lot to ensure that you are properly taken care of. And those that have contact, subjecting themselves for monitoring to curb the spread. And that is the only way we can interrupt this pandemic.
All right, thank you. Before we look at transmission, just to refresh our minds again on the virus, I don't know, between Dr. Uyodu Amalaka and the Honorable Commissioner, I don't know who has been in the streets, the perception of the people, how do they, how they relating to what government is doing right now, and how are they receiving government intervention?
Thank you, Benson. I think that we've heard from the medical experts here. We know where we're coming from. We know the actual position now. As the government of Edo State, our key responsibility is the welfare, safety, and security of our people. And it is very important that since we have established the seriousness of the COVID-19 and the possible impact it may have on our people, it now becomes our own responsibility to make our people aware, to make our people believe it, and to also ensure that we put the right facilities, processes in place.
Okay, in real terms.
So, yeah, when you go out on the street, perhaps you have heard that we are on the screening drive right now, what we call the storm. What we see on the street is that the very element of believability has been, very widespread across our people. So we're now using a targeted approach to reach them and say, look, this is serious. You may not know that you have anything, but you are actually exposed. And you may even be in a position to infect others if you are. So we have engaged our people directly. It's a one-on-one approach. All across the states today, across the 192 wards of Edo State, we are actually on the streets, having these conversations everywhere, getting our friends, our families, members of our community out there to go for screening. Because our studies have shown that early detection is key. So that's what we're doing as a state.
The drive around town revealed so many centers, so many key places. Like, how many of those centers do you have where people can walk in, have interactions with the officials, and probably, if the need arises, for the test? Okay,
right now we do have, for the stationary centers, we have about 135, and then for the mobile screening centers, we have 65 right now. So we have across the markets, border posts, yes. We have a whole, every community will boast of about, not less than maybe 5 or so around there.
Okay. Yeah. All right, thank you. Honorable Commissioner, what do we have on ground, to engage the people with, in terms of isolation centers, testing? At the time, the NCDC was complaining that there were no testing kits, but we are allowed. So, what you have said again and again, I just say this on purpose. So, you want to refresh our minds again what the state government has on ground.
Thank you, Ben. But 9 weeks into this incident of COVID-19 in the Edo States, of active response. So I can actually sit here and smile, because we've done all the work, which was very, very hectic from the very beginning. The state government approached this response from different prongs. Also identify the fact that prevention is better and easier and cheaper than cure. So the essence on prevention was to upscale our level of surveillance, our contact tracers, and the need to train healthcare workers. That was initially put in place. And then, of course, we decided to look at what facilities there was in existence. And those states could boast of the level of experience with infectious disease outbreaks before now. You are aware that the state is almost an epicenter in the country for response to Lassa fever, to the extent that we have a center of excellence for research and treatment for Lassa fever at the Royal Specialist Teaching Hospital. Now, when COVID-19 started, like I said, from the 7th of February, when the index case in the country occurred, we were also at the stage of hosting a major event in Edo State, the National Sports Festival, where we were preparing to host about 12,000 participants coming into the state. And of course, the fear was there, considering the huge resources the state has put into the preparation. So we needed to put things in place, prepared, and we're ready to go ahead and host that event. No matter what, we'll put things in place to prevent the spread of the virus in Edo State. So we started by identifying the structures in place. Of course, we're talking about, apart from the prevention, the essentials of our case management. We identified that we had 3 isolation centers already in existence in the state, which were cut across the 3 senatorial districts. Because the one at Edo Central, which is the Royal Specialist Teaching Hospital, was already fully established or was of the national and international status. Now, the one in Edo South at the Stella Bassovia Hospital was just a 12-bed isolation center. That was never put to use because we never had to have any overwhelming of cases from Iraq that would now be brought to Benin. Then we had one in Central Hospital, Auchi, also never been put to use. So there was a need to activate these centers in preparedness for COVID-19 should they occur. It has not, we've never experienced it in a closed state. But the part of the top of these facilities, of course, you know, a task force was immediately set up by Mr. Governor, he chaired it himself, and also was a technical committee that is being chaired by the Deputy Governor. Now, a part of the top of these facilities became obvious that from what we are hearing and seeing, 12 beds will just be a child's play to have in a center. So there was need to upscale and expand the facility at the Stella Bassovia Hospital. It was also obvious that COVID-19 was more of a disease that recognized no status. And from the records, most of the persons are very well even of the high socioeconomic level. So, at Stella Bassovia, the plan started immediately to increase and build a brand new 30-bed isolation center. And I can tell you, it started from the foundation with blocks, and in 12 days it was completed. By the 13th day, we were moving equipment and all that is required to make it activated into the facility. So, and we went straight also to see what is available at the University of Benin Teaching Hospital. Of course, they also had a facility for isolation. There was also a small facility, an 8-bed isolation center. Of course, we realized there was need to also expand that. So activities started with the support from the state to the federal institution to get a new 35-bed isolation center at the University of Benin Teaching Hospital. The same went to Royal Specialist Teaching Hospital. The state government recognizing that even though these are federal institutions, their services are for the people of Edo State. So the collaborations have been very, very, very smooth and seamless. All our meetings and committees, the leadership and the headship of these institutions have been dragged into it, and we meet every day. In fact, we call it the situation room, or even what we call a wartime command center. All right. At the initial stage, we're having Zoom meetings twice a day, 10 a.m., 5 p.m. All right. Then by the time things became settled, we'll be having that every day now. And it's mandatory. Mr. Governor chairs this meeting every day. All right. And so it also went to Iras Central Hospital, Auchi, and of course to expand the level of facilities there. This also remembering that from what's happened everywhere, it was defined as a respiratory disease. Of course, it starts with your simple throat irritation, catarrh, sneezing, and then can progress to cough, then respiratory distress. and eventually respiratory failure that will require the need for support, the respiratory support. So we need to acquire gadgets to aid our patients should they get to this stage was immediately put in place, and procured ventilators and oxygen concentrators, multi-parameter monitors, mobile digital x-rays. These were all deployed within weeks to show our level of preparedness. There were also ways those state governments approached this response. And of course, Mr. Governor has been very scientific in his approach, and is always talking about data. Every action, every decision must be driven by data. And so we immediately constituted a committee of professionals of Edo indigenes, both locally and those in the diaspora, and we came into an epidemiological modeling for the state that guided the direction of Mr. Governor in decision making. And so the modeling was very, very clear that if nothing was done, there were certain projections that were going to take place. So this guided the government of Edo State to make preparations. We acquired this and said, fine, if we put all this in place, we will not get there. But should we get there, that we need to have patients who now go into these severe conditions, we have facilities to cater for them. So that's where we are. Now we got to the point that for some time, our level of confirmed cases was even very low. I'll put it out that.
But now we have 144.
Yes, I'll explain this. For the whole of early April, our number of confirmed cases stood at 14. For 2 weeks plus, we didn't record any new case. But we realized that this disease we call an imported disease. But it got to a point that we now realized that we are going into the community transmission. And at that stage, we needed to reach out to the people to get this disease out of our people. Because it became obvious, the more dangerous the virus is when the person carrying it does not have any symptom. So the idea of screening came up. The governor was very, very supportive in this and said, we have a population of almost 5 million persons in Edo State. If we screen 10% of them, we came up with 500,000. And we were able to identify those that would fall into the case definition for testing. And we were able to test 5,000 of our people. And we have facility to be able to now treat at least 10% of that 5,000, which is 500. Then I think we'll be home and dry. So if you say the screening is going to reach out to 500,000, and it is about 500 of them may require treatment. So where are we going to keep them? Salabas could boast of 42 beds. UBTH was boasting about 41 beds. Ira 35. Auchi was about 12 beds. Mr. Governor came out and said, though we have converted the whole of Salabasunjo into a COVID-19 response center, the big hospital that boasted 158 beds before, that there was needs to convert that facility into a 300 bed,
the entire facility,
the whole building. As we speak, the hospital is a COVID-19 isolation or treatment center. It's at verge of completion. The construction company ANK will be handing over the key by Monday or Tuesday. Right. And we are looking at a 30-bed facility in that Salabasunjo that will take care of these patients when they come. Like we always say, is a message of hope. We hope we don't have our people get into that stage where they will require
all the same. We must be prepared. Okay. But like you said, 5 million people testing 10%, 500. That's still massive amount of persons, and 500 too is a lot of persons who need care. At that level. Thank you, Honorable Commissioner. We'll just in a moment we'll be taking a break. I'm sure there is something on queue. My producers will have my GM in the house, Saiga Sabo Esquire, we'll have Comrade Roy, Riwabo, we have Comrade Austin, Usakwe, we have Comrade Leo, Comrade Olu Martins, beg your pardon, and Prince Greg Ogiogwa is also in the house. All of these persons will also be on the show in just a while. All right, so we'll just take a break.